Today, we're going to dig into something pretty cool. We're cracking open a patent to uncover the science behind that perfectly crispy frozen fried food. You know the kind I'm talking about? We're going to see how food engineers totally solved a classic kitchen headache to give us that ultimate crunch, pretty much every single time.
All right, let's dive right in. And we're going to start with a problem that I'm willing to bet every single one of us has dealt with before.
So picture this. You pull that amazing golden brown shrimp or piece of chicken out of the oil, it looks perfect, and then the moment you touch it, it's just a disaster. The coating just slides right off. You're left with this soggy, kind of sad mess. It's a super common frustration, and it's exactly what this whole invention is designed to fix.
And yeah, it's not just the peeling, right? We're talking about that heavy, almost doughy texture when you really wanted something light and crispy. Or when the whole thing just feels greasy because the coating soaked up way too much oil. Believe it or not, these are the exact problems that keep food scientists up at night.
So what is actually going on here? Well, the root of the problem, it all comes down to a basic trade-off in how you make the batter itself.
Okay, so here's the big dilemma. If you want a batter that really sticks to the food, you have to make it thick, high viscosity. The problem is that gives you a heavy, doughy coating. But if you want that amazing, light, crispy texture, you need a thin, low-viscosity batter, which, you guessed it, just slides right off. It really feels like you can't win. You have to pick one or the other. But what if you didn't have to choose?
And this is where things get really, really clever. The engineers on this realized the answer wasn't about creating one perfect batter. The real secret was to stop making a single coating try to do two completely different jobs.
And right here, this is the big aha moment. The solution is to use two totally different coatings in two separate stages. You have one layer that's designed to do nothing but stick, and a second layer that's designed to do nothing but get crispy. It's such an elegant and powerful idea.
So, let's take a look at how they turned this idea into an actual manufacturing process. It's this super precise 7-step dance of coating and freezing.
Okay, so this is the full sequence. It starts out pretty normal. A layer of powder, the thick batter, then some breadcrumbs. But check out step 4. That is a crucial freeze. After it's frozen, they add the second, thin batter and more breadcrumbs, and then it gets one last final freeze. Trust me, those two freezing steps, that's the secret sauce that makes this whole thing work. And just look at the final product. It is incredible. You don't just have one coating, you have 5 distinct layers wrapped around the food. You've got the powder, the first batter, the first breadcrumbs, the second batter, and then the final outer crumbs. It's basically a fully engineered system for the perfect texture. So, let's really get into the science of this, because understanding how these two batters work and why that freezing step is so important is where the real magic happens. And it all boils down to controlling something called viscosity.
The first batter, which is called the Daiichi Badaeki in the original Japanese patent, is basically like a primer. You know, like when you're painting a wall? It's thick, it's sticky, and its one and only job is to create a strong foundation that holds everything else on. This is your glue.
Then you have the second batter, the Daini batter eki, and this is your top coat. It's thin, it flows easily, and its job is to create this really delicate, even layer over that primer. This is what gives you that perfect, light, and unbelievably crispy texture when you fry it. And what's really cool is the patent lays this all out with actual numbers. It's not just some vague idea of thick and thin. The first batter has way less water compared to flour, which makes it dense and pasty, like glue. The second batter has a lot more water, which makes it super fluid. This is literally how they engineer the specific job of each layer.
Okay, so having two different batters is genius, right? But the whole thing would totally fall apart without the single most important step in the entire process. This diagram from the patent tells the whole story. After that first sticky coating is on, the whole product is frozen solid. Only then do they apply the thin second batter onto that frozen surface. So, why is that so important?
It's because that freezing step turns that first thick layer into a solid, stable platform. It stops the thin second batter from just soaking in and mixing with the first one. It lets that crispy top coat spread perfectly evenly over a surface that isn't going to melt or move. That freeze step, that is the secret that lets the two layers exist without messing each other up. It's brilliant.
So what this all comes down to is that this isn't just a recipe, It's a real engineering solution. It's a whole process designed from the ground up to solve a fundamental conflict in food science.
And here it is, the big payoff, taken right from the patent itself.
This whole process lets them achieve both adhesion stability and texture quality. In plain English, you get a coating that actually sticks and a light, crispy bite. The dilemma is officially solved.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? The next time you bite into that perfectly crunchy piece of frozen fried food, you'll know it didn't happen by accident. It's the result of some seriously clever science. Makes you wonder, what other incredible engineered solutions are just sitting there in our freezers, waiting to be discovered?